Building the dam of the new Eden burning scenario is impossible without pollution, but at the same time, to get the gold medal, you need to keep your pollution very low. So let me show you how to do that. I'm StratGamer, thank you for tuning in into this 4th episode out of 7 of my guide from start to finish on how to get the gold medal in the Eden burning scenario in Anno 1800. Before we dive in, please consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss another episode and you help the channel. Also, remember that in the description below this video, you can find the link to download this actual save so that you can play along. And lastly, let's do a 10-second recap of the previous episode. First of all, we focused on creating a city as big as possible, as quickly as possible, with a lot of trees cut to create timber. Then we developed industries around 3 hubs, 3 trade unions with specific items. We didn't go directly for the first level of the dam, we actually went for obreros. It's very important, don't hesitate to check the previous episode if you want to understand why and how. But today, in this episode, it is indeed very important to start the dam, but at the same time, we're gonna need to manage our pollution. So a lot of interesting things coming, let's dive in. Okay, so as you can see, we are almost at 2 hours. So we spent 30 minutes out of the 2 hours and 30 minutes. First thing I'm gonna do now is actually get to the full side of the city. We're gonna expand the city even more. Why? Well, because we need 600 jornaleros in terms of workforce for the first stage of the dam. And as you can see right now, we are actually negative, not even positive workforce, because we just transform a lot of jornaleros into obreros. So it's important to continue expanding the city to its sort of maximum size soon. To do that, of course, we're focusing on the places where we've already cut most of the trees, and also, you know, trying to keep the whole city together so you don't have to have too many markets and things like this. The turtle is coming back, and that will help us, of course, with our water pollution. At this point, we are 91%, but the water and the air eco balance is significantly decreasing. I'm also preparing the next phase, which is to create steel that will be necessary for the level 2 and level 3 of the dam, so really important to start it early. Putting also a number of fire stations all across the island. In particular, you want to make sure you have one close to your industry. You know, all those buildings, steel factories, concrete factories, they cost a lot of resources. If one explodes, if one, you know, is destroyed by fire, you're in trouble. Okay, checking from time to time, of course, all of my production with Control Q and seeing I need to increase, for example, here on the cattle side. Of course, don't hesitate to ask any question that you may have in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it, in particular if you've done something differently. We're also starting some of the, let's say, second level mines, so the coal, soon we'll start also the zinc, all of those mines that are required for the new buildings like steel and electric cables, because you want to start the mines before you start the actual buildings in case you need to run more buildings than what the mine can provide at one time. See, the city is continuing to grow and we're now back into positive. We still have a few ruins that are going. Of course, the generator one is. And yeah, I'm starting to also stop from time to time some of the industries. For example, I just stopped all of the fisheries because my water was going down a bit too quickly for my liking. We're definitely going to go below the exclamation point that you can see at the top. And when you're below that point, you start getting a quest like the one I have just now, waterborne infection, and those quests are bad quests. It's not a good quest. Most of the time it will be a bad outcome. Here there's fortunately a good one, which is we're gonna pay a bit more money but decrease our chance of illness, and honestly money is not a problem at this point. But yeah, you definitely want to be careful with some of those quests. Turtle has Panaria, so that will help a lot with our water, which is back into positive now that we've stopped all of the farms, but that won't last forever. We're gonna need, of course, to restart all of these fisheries, sorry. I'm putting some timber and tools to go to the temple. Don't hesitate to check on my channel, there is a video and will be also now at the top So you can check it later after this episode on all of the islands that are around, which one makes sense to go to and all those type of things. Almost finished also on this second water ruin. And it's good because now I'm in negative in journal errors, given that we started the first level of the dam. 600 people, I'm taking all the unique plants. Again, I have a video covering all of these unique plants that you can find around your island, as well as the one for the crates hidden in the city, which I didn't know about when I did this walkthrough, so that's why you don't see me taking them. You may also have realized that I forgot to connect the dam by road, so make sure you do that. You're gonna see me fix that just now. But indeed, it made me lose a bit of time. The turtle is there, so now we are nicely in positive indeed. Putting the road now. You may also want to put a warehouse, make sure that you have a warehouse in range if you didn't build a warehouse like I did before. If you missed it, also a first steel production has started. Really important, as I said. And we're gonna build another trade union. It's not necessary, but one good thing about the aqua farms is you can put them all next to each other. There's no monoculture malus, so it's good to put them all together, and then you can put a trade union with some of the items that help aqua farms. Again, it's not mandatory, and for example, in the run that I just did, where I did the gold medal without any items, I didn't touch aqua farms at all, to be honest. Yeah, slowly but surely making progress. As I said, then also looking at the other mines, but I need more wood, more timber, to be precise. This copper, I'm starting the copper mine anyway because it will take some time for that mine stock to be full before it needs a road to deliver. Here I'm giving the timber, giving the tools and planting to get that item, which then I'll send back as soon as possible, which will help given a +3 to my non-polluting items. It's worth noting though that you can get this item without the temple. You can find it somewhere on your island or in the sea. Again, this is based on the episode I mentioned earlier, so don't hesitate to check that out or to ask in the comments if that wasn't clear. So we're back into positive for the water. That's really good. Now build the bridge. So the timber has started. The last one will be the limestone, which is required for the cement, the concrete factory. So I have a bit of time for that one. Good to put, of course, a silo for your aqua farms because their productivity is quite low. My air eco balance is still decreasing by a lot, of course, because we've now also started, as I said, the steel. So that's not helping. It will help a bit when I'm gonna put the new item we just discovered in the temple, but still, that probably won't be enough, and we are almost below the exclamation points at this point, so we'll get also another quest for sure. Now that we've restarted all of our fisheries too, we're also in negative for the water. So that's what's really actually difficult. I mean, this is the most important part of the game, is you need to continue producing quickly, continue to deliver all of the materials for all of the levels, basically level 1, 2 and 3 of the dam without pausing, but at the same time keep your eco balance in check. And we've built the last mine. That is important. It's good also that those mines don't have impact on your pollution, so that's why you can start them early. Don't worry about that. Okay, I'm missing a bit of corn. So I'm checking if there's a plantain that is not getting the polyculture bonus. so that I can put the corn next to that farm. So that's what I'm doing here, giving a grace bonus. And we got indeed a quest. I chose the one that I needed to find herbs, and we need to find 3. Good thing is they're actually not that hard. You see them here, 3. And that's actually giving me now a bonus, reducing my chances of illness. See, all of those quests, you know, they can be quite dangerous, but sometimes they can also help you. Okay, and we're good on most of the productions. We're starting to deliver also a lot of the goods necessary, the timber, the brick, and the tools. So of course that's why we're not giving tools at this moment to all of our people. Make sure we stockpile a lot. Now I'm gonna start the electric cable. So we need zinc that we've already created. On top of that also caoutchouc, which I'm creating now. And then we'll be able to make the caoutchouc factory, which actually costs quite a bit of money and resources. Make sure you plan for that too. And make sure you always check, of course, the ratios of production, right? Caoutchouc, for example, is 1 minute. So you need 2 if you want a 30-second production time. This one is a lot less important, to be honest. Yeah, slowly but surely making progress. Also, I have more journalers now, which will enable me to clear some of the last ruins at the top. They're not that important in terms of pollution or even space. I don't really need that space. The main reason I'm doing it is because of the good that they're giving, usually, you know, bricks and steel. I'm actually preparing a video now as I speak around, you know, which exact good is given by which ruin, so that you can decide for yourself if it's worth it or not based on what you need. Checking about the fisheries, you know, if the stock of fish in the sea is not getting too low. And you definitely don't want it to get to 0, because when it gets to 0, it doesn't replenish anymore at all. I've started actually at this point giving back tools for 2 reasons. The first one is I have enough tools for what is needed for the first stage of the dam. And second is, as I said earlier, you know, I made a bit of a mistake to not go directly to 500 obreros. So I want to correct that mistake and go to it now. Now that I have enough tools basically for the first wave, first stage of the dam. Still a bit down, but not too much. So we're managing quite well, because we stopped also all of the tools production at this point. Again, because I have enough. And I'm gonna prepare the next one. So that's gonna be 2 of the electric cable and 2 of the concrete. Remember, I don't have the P4 incinerator in this playthrough. Otherwise, you probably only need 1. If you found this episode useful or just had a good time, don't hesitate to press the like button below. Also subscribe to the channel, please. It really does help a lot, especially for YouTube to know that this could be useful for other people. Almost 1 hour and 40 minutes left, and we are basically halfway through the first stage of the dam, but we've already nicely started also what we need for the second stage. Things like bricks, steel, also almost starting with the electric cables and cement. We've started with their mines and things like this. We've placed the buildings. We just need to start those buildings now. And I really hope to see you next time for episode 5. A lot more to come.